Welcome again. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for this workshop with Grow with Google. It's a partnership that we have that helps us bring you greater access to resources to learn specific digital tools for your practice. This workshop is specifically on YouTube and how to grow your audience and is led by speaker and marketing professional Patia Abdur-Razak. We hope that you can learn and take a lot away from this presentation, and would love to hear what you think and how helpful it was at the end with a post-event survey. I'll post it in the chat. I'm Priscilla, A4's Program and Communications Manager. I'm a Korean American woman with dark brown wavy hair and a ponytail at home and a gray t-shirt. For those of you who are not familiar with A4, we are a 37-year-old nonprofit organization dedicated to ensuring greater representation, equity, and opportunities for Asian American artists and cultural organizations. In addition to today's professional development workshop, our programming includes community building events like our bi-monthly town hall and conversations around Asian American identity. We're also the only service organization in the country dedicated to the professional development of Asian American artists across all disciplines. We do have a few programs coming up that I think you all would be interested in. Next Tuesday, July 20th at 6:30 via Zoom, we will have our next town hall program dedicated to film, TV, and media. And there you can share what you've been up to, find collaborators, or introduce yourself with 60-second pitches. So I'm sure there are many film and video creators, actors, storytellers on this call, so I highly recommend that you RSVP and join us. It's a great way to get connected with other AAPI folks and to expand your network. We'll have two featured presenters at the town hall. Christine Choi, she's the director of Who Killed Vincent Chin documentary, and Anne Hu, she's the director, writer, and producer of a new featured film called Confetti. I also want to let you know that A4 is part of the advisory committee of the City Artists Corps grant, which is currently distributing one-time $5,000 grants to help the city recover, get money into your pockets, and help engage the public with your work this summer and fall. We will be hosting an information session this Friday at 1 p.m. So you can RSVP to this webinar and get all your questions answered by us before you have to submit an application. The next deadline for the application is next Tuesday at 10 a.m. We have many more events coming your way, including a talk with Pixie Lau in partnership with Fotografiska on the 27th, and a performance with Lincoln Center featuring Sunken Cages and Migi Miyajima on the 30th. We have free tickets available for that, so you can learn more and get those tickets through our link tree here. And now just to go over a few technical points before we get started. This event is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube and Facebook channels. We have closed captioning available via Rev. If you'd like to enable the captions, you should see a CC icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen menu. And now for land acknowledgement. In the before times, we've been meeting in the A4 offices on the unceded lands of the Lenape and Canarsie peoples. But since we're meeting virtually today, we'd like to share digital land acknowledgement written by Canadian theater artist Adrienne Wong. Since our activities are shared digitally to the internet, let's take a moment to consider the legacy of colonization embedded within the technology, structures, and ways of thinking we use every day. We are using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art we make use significant carbon footprints, contributing to changing climates that disproportionately affect indigenous peoples worldwide. I invite you to join me in acknowledging all of this, as well as our shared responsibility to make good use of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and allyship. I will pass it on to Patia for the main workshop for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Priscilla, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's workshop on how to use YouTube to grow your audience. Just a quick background, Grow with Google is an initiative that brings the best of Google's training and tools to help people to grow their skills, careers, and audiences or businesses. In today's workshop, you will learn how to use YouTube to grow your specific artist audience. And by the end of the workshop, my hope is that you'll have a really great idea of how to set up a channel if you don't already have one, and how to improve your channel if you do have one that exists, and also how to measure the effectiveness of your marketing activities, as well as tips for presenting yourself directly in front of your target audience. This is my contact information. A lot of people like to take a quick snapshot. If you have any questions after the presentation, please feel free to reach out to me. I will stop my video at this point so that you guys can enjoy the full presentation. I have also pasted some additional resource links that give you more in-depth information on things like monetization. I have to slow down when I say that word, as well as copyright issues. I know as artists that copyright is definitely an issue that you guys may be interested in. And then I also saw some questions in the pre-event survey that's surrounding around how much money can be made once you have an established YouTube channel. So there's also a resource in there that can give you kind of an idea of how that actually works. Now, you will be receiving a hard copy of today's presentation. I will send this exact presentation to Priscilla, and she will send it to you in her follow-up efforts so that you have it for your future reference. Okay, so let's get started. When we all think of video at this point in 2021, we usually think of YouTube, because YouTube is where people watch. And to give you an idea of the volume of people who are using YouTube, there are more than 2 billion monthly logged in users who collectively watch 1 billion hours of video per day. YouTube is also where people discover things. And by search volume, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Google, of course, is the largest. And so since Google owns YouTube, pretty much Google and YouTube are dominating the top 2 spots in terms of search. Now, 86% of US viewers say they often use YouTube to learn new things. And of course, YouTube is also where people engage. And more than 33% of buyers say that they purchased products that they learned about first on YouTube. So with all of this in mind, it's clear that having a presence on YouTube can help you to build brand awareness and connect with your respective audiences. So how does all this relate specifically to artists? YouTube is definitely a platform for artists. As of January 2020, 93% of the most popular videos on YouTube were actually music videos. So if you're an artist that produces music, this is definitely a place that you should be. So there's so many reasons for artists to be on the platform today, but most importantly, it is a free platform that you can utilize if you know the best practices to connect with your audience and also to showcase your work. And over time, once you build a robust following or subscriber base, there are opportunities for you to monetize your channels. So a little bit more about that. If you're a filmmaker or musician, then uploading your work will be easy since most of it will already be in video format. However, if you paint or draw, or maybe you're a photographer, then you will have to make the extra effort to produce video content for your channel. So some ideas for the kinds of videos that you could possibly upload if you fall into the second bucket of artists that I mentioned would be things like behind the scenes footage as you work, possible media interviews, and content that you capture while you're producing live streams. So just giving you some ideas of how you can begin to brainstorm in terms of developing the content that you can share on YouTube. So this is today's agenda. We're going to break the workshop into 5 sections. First, we'll spend some time going through the steps for creating a business channel on YouTube. And then we will talk about some best practices around creating videos that help you to achieve your overall goals as an artist, whether it's just getting your work out there, getting media interviews, collaborating with other artists, how you should organize your channel to attract viewers. Once you're ready, how you can promote your business with video, and of course, live streaming on YouTube, which is relatively new, not as new as it was a couple months ago. And then in closing, I like to share some additional resources that you can access on your own to continue your learning journey. So let's start with how you create a branded channel on YouTube. The first step, of course, is to visit youtube.com. It may be easiest to set up your channel for the first time on a desktop or laptop computer. In fact, I actually recommend this as opposed to the phone because the real estate of the phone screen is just a little too small when you're just starting out, because you will need to follow the prompts, which YouTube will guide you, step by step what you need to do. You also need to have access to things like your branded materials and your videos. So if you're just setting up your channel, I would recommend that you do so at a computer. So here we go. In the top right, you will click sign in, and here you would sign in with your Google account, email, and password. Next, you will click create account, and the options presented will be whether you will be creating a channel for yourself or to manage for a business or brand. And of course, since we're developing a branded channel, you will select to manage my business. That is the option. Remember that you do need to have a Google account to sign into YouTube. And what I would recommend is that you create a separate account that you only use for your artist work, as opposed to combining it with a personal email address that you have, okay? So if you're already signed into your Google account, this will jump you ahead. And the slide that we're looking at pretty much presents the call outs for where you would be able to access your YouTube channel. Okay, so next you will click the circle at the top right corner, and this will be your profile photo, or if you didn't select a custom photo, it will be your initial. And so what I usually recommend for the profile photo is that you use a logo if you have one. If you do not have a logo, then many of you who have, who are artists and can draw and paint yourselves, you can just use an image of, one of your pieces to be the placeholder for that profile picture. Just remember that this is the image that will follow your visitors and your videos around YouTube. So you may want to choose wisely in selecting that image. Okay, so next, a drop-down menu will be revealed, and from here you will click Create a Channel. You will now see a dialog box appear with the message, Your Creator Journey Begins. If you click No Thanks, then it will take you straight to your channel. If you click Get Started, YouTube will guide you through steps to customize your channel. And if you've never set up a YouTube channel before, I highly recommend that you actually go through the Get Started, because it will make sure that you're completing all of the necessary steps needed to set up your channel properly. Next, you will click the Select button under Use a Custom Name and enter the name for your new channel. And of course, this will be the name of your brand. And the reason why you would use the name of your brand is because you want to be recognizable to your current audience. And as people discover you, you want to make sure that they're recognizing you in the correct way. Now, many people, when I do this presentation, send me emails afterwards saying, oh my goodness, I think I did the wrong thing and I created a channel under my personal profile. No problem there. If you already created a channel using your own name as opposed to your brand name, you can switch it very easily. And the easiest way to do so is to visit youtube.com/channel_switcher. Then you would click the advanced settings from the left navigation menu and look for the option to move the channel over. So it's a simple process. Next, you will be guided through the steps to customize your channel. Here's the thing that you want to remember. Depending on what people search for, so the search terms that people use on YouTube or Google, it's kind of like a 50-50 chance that they would come across your channel first, or they may come across one of your videos first. Some viewers will find your channel first through your online or possible offline activities. Other viewers, and this happens to me a lot, might be searching for a specific topic or product and find one of your videos before coming to your channel. And this is usually because based on the categorization and the content of the video, your video is offered up to them as another alternative for what they're looking for. Because of this, it's very important for you to organize your channel according to best practices. So organizing your channel well can increase your chances of people finding your business on YouTube, as well as a variety of ways, because remember that YouTube also functions like a search engine. Again, as a reminder, be sure to upload a profile photo. And again, it can be a logo if you have one, or one of your pieces if you draw or paint, or maybe a snapshot of your album cover if you're a musician. And remember that when people watch your videos, they'll always see your profile picture next to your channel name. So this is how you also become easily recognizable to your audience. Next, it's time to add details about your channel. The channel description can show up in search results and is visible to viewers in the About tab on your channel page. Try to be descriptive as possible when filling out this information, and the more information and description about your work, the better it will be for you. Be sure to add your website URL and any social links that you already have. Those will also show up in the About tab. The screenshot we're viewing together is a preview of the public channel home screen. If you added the customizations recommended in the previous steps, you will then see them here. But you can always go back and edit your channel by clicking the Customize Channel button, which will take you back to the YouTube studio. One more thing to point out on this screen is that you can see a button that allows you to upload videos to your channel. And you can do this in a few places. There's also an icon of a video camera at the top right, which allows you to upload videos or start a live stream. And you can also upload videos from YouTube Studio, which we will take a look at next. The Customize Channel button takes you directly to the Customization tab in YouTube Studio. Now, if you don't have much content or videos yet to upload, you won't have that much to customize. But once you do, make sure that you always return to this tab, because filling out these customizations will help attract more viewers to your channel. There are 3 subsections of the Customization tab: Layout, Branding, and Basic Information. The first section, Layout, helps you to customize the content on the channel homepage. First, you have the option to add a video spotlight. Now, this video appears at the top of the channel's homepage, and you can choose 2 types of videos. The first type would be for visitors who are not yet subscribers. And you can add a channel trailer. Now, a channel trailer can be a quick video that highlights what you create and what viewers can expect from your channel. And it should encourage them to become subscribers so that they're kept up to date with all of the amazing content that you will distribute. Then the second option would be for visitors who are already subscribed. And here you can showcase any of your videos. So maybe if you have an upcoming show, or maybe you have, an interview or something that's exciting that you would like to share with your current subscribers, this is an opportunity to use that functionality. Secondly, you can manage sections. Now, sections allow you to customize what viewers see when they land on your channel homepage. They're made up of videos and playlists, and they help you organize and showcase the content from your channel. Now, you can choose up to 12 sections to include on the homepage and order them as you like. So this is your way of actually guiding current and new subscribers as to the kind of content that you are sharing on the channel. You can also organize and promote content that you want to highlight on your channel using these sections. Again, a section lets you group videos together to help your audience make informed decisions about what they would like to watch. Next up is the branding tab. With this tab, you can add various branding elements that help make your channel visually unique and lets viewers know what they can expect if they subscribe to your channel. Now, we've already spoken twice about the profile picture, so let's move on from that. Next, you can add a channel banner. And this appears across the top of your channel and can give viewers a visual sense of your channel and content. Just be sure to follow the image size requirements to get the best possible results. Finally, if you add a video watermark, it will appear in your videos, I should say, in the bottom right-hand corner of the video player, and viewers can use it to subscribe to your channel. You can choose when it shows during your videos or even at the end, or possibly at a custom start time or throughout the entire video. To add a watermark, and I think for artists this may be important for you guys, you will scroll down to video watermark, click upload, and choose an image that meets the listed requirements. Once you upload, select from the options of when you'd like your watermark displayed, and then simply click publish. Finally, there's the basic information tab. This tab lets you edit your channel name, add a channel description, add translations for your channel name, and description in other languages. Here, you're also able to add links to sites that you want to share with your viewers, contact information, of course, and of course, an email address for business or booking inquiries. Once you make changes to any of these tabs, click publish to make your changes live on your channel. Here's an example of a pretty well-developed YouTube artist channel. Notice the banner image, okay? So without even really paying attention, like if you were just browsing, you would automatically know from the banner image that this channel is about paintings. And also notice that the videos are grouped into playlists, okay? And you will notice that the playlists have very clear descriptions in terms of what the playlists are about. So the first one is how to paint a traditional Chinese bird in bamboo, learn to paint flowers, Chinese art painting. And so for the viewer, if they're just coming across this channel, it is extremely easy for them to interact with the content based on their level of interest. And so this is a clearer example of the playlist, right? So very easy. Maybe I just want to learn how to do a fruit painting, so I would just go directly to the fruit painting playlist. And so as you develop your channel, you should be thinking of the kinds of content that you will share and how you will actually organize the content to guide your subscribers. So let's move on. You've got your channel set up. Now you need to add videos. Let's talk about how to create videos that will help you to promote your work and to grow your audience. So rhetorical question, who here has ever created or shot a video? All of us. Even a quick video you shoot on a smartphone these days absolutely counts. Technology today allows anyone the ability to make a video. That means that you do not need a whole team of professional videographers to create engaging videos for your bodies of work. YouTube is not a platform where only the large brands have the means to present compelling videos. An authentic video that tells your story of your journey as an artist, that showcase your work, could go a long way if put in front of the right people. Before you make your first video, think about what you want the purpose of that video to be. What do you want your audience to take away from it? As this relates specifically to artists, and in this example, I'm gonna specifically, you may be asking yourself, is YouTube the correct choice for me, especially if I'm not a musician? Musicians have it a little easier because their content usually is, already shot in video format. As an artist or a painter or photographer, should I be on YouTube? And the answer, of course, again, is absolutely yes. I mean, even if you just did a quick search on YouTube yourself, you will find many channels that showcase amazing artist work. So the key here, though, however, is that there needs to be a strategy involved in order for you to be successful and reap all of the benefits of the platform. So here are some tips for you guys as artists. Define and narrow your niche. Okay, so who exactly are you creating this channel for? Okay, know your competition. Highly recommend that if you're considering creating a YouTube channel, that you do a quick search and see what other artists like yourselves, the content they're sharing, how they're engaging, the kinds of videos, the sections that they have on their channel, the way they're organizing their playlist. Research keywords, because keywords that are attached to your descriptions of the videos as well as your channel will be key in having you come up in organic searches. Here's a hint. Use the YouTube search bar to guide you. So this is what you'll do. You'll go on YouTube and just simply start typing, say, for example, fashion photography or watercolor paintings. And what YouTube will do is that they will give you a long line of suggestions or phrases based on the search terms that others are using on YouTube to find videos on similar topics. That's the easiest way that you guys can figure this out. The next thing, especially if you're just starting out with this and you don't have that much video content, is to schedule your uploads. And I would say to start no more than 2 to 3 times per week, because you definitely don't want to waste your content. And you also want to get a feel for the activity of the channel, especially as you're growing it, right? Like are people more responsive and visiting the channel maybe at 8 a.m. in the morning, or is it after midnight? And so you really don't want to waste your content, especially as you're starting out, by just uploading all of the videos all at once. Also, reach out to small YouTubers like yourself. Building relationships with fellow artists will help you to learn what works and what doesn't, as well as present collaboration opportunities, especially if one of your goals is for you to monetize your channel further down the road. Right? So just some tips that I researched in terms of how as artists, you guys can actually gear yourselves up to have successful YouTube channels. Now, once you've decided what you want to shoot, make sure you follow these recommended best practices. So share a clear, concise message with your viewers. Try to make a strong impression within the first 5 to 15 seconds so that your viewers want to continue to watch. Videos should never be overtly buy my painting, download my album, right? It should be content rich and enticing enough so that they will want to support you just based on the experience that they have viewing the videos. And by the way, one of the questions that I usually get is how long should a video be? And I would say the ideal length of a YouTube video is about 10 minutes. They have done studies and found that at that 10-minute mark, that's where videos have the best sort of effect, because if your content is engaging enough, then somebody will watch the video for 10 minutes. However, if you're considering doing ads or you're creating videos that you want to reshare on social media, then those videos will need to be a little shorter. When shooting your video, think about your space, the lighting, and sound. Try to think visually. Your space should be clear of clutter so viewers will know where to focus. Your space can also reinforce your brand by including your logo or your pieces of your art, or give them, you know, a sneak peek into your studio. Having enough light is really important. Try to use natural light and position yourself to avoid shadows, especially shadows on your face. And of course, sound. Try really hard to avoid making videos when there's distracting background noises. It is really important to make sure that the quality of your audio sound is clear, especially if you're explaining concepts or explaining things, so that your viewers will be engaged enough. And a recommendation is that you should use an external microphone. Many times the built-in microphones in computers don't do such a great job when you are producing video content. So talking about external microphones and such, I often get questions about the kind of equipment that one should use to shoot their YouTube videos. The great news is that your iPhone is a great place to start. Now, if your iPhone is able to shoot videos anywhere between 720p to 1080p, and ideally 1080p is considered a full high definition video, then you are in good shape. You would be surprised. There are actually entire YouTube channels, you guys could take a look, of people who are like making movies and a lot of high quality videos just using their iPhones. So depending on the kind of camera that you have, I mean, the kind of smartphone that you have, iPhone, you may not need to invest in an actual camera or video camera. Like I said, external microphones are recommended for computers, and there's so many different versions. A good one, you can expect to pay anywhere from $50 to $70. The one that I'm using today is by Audio Technica. And it was actually sent to me by Google, so I don't know how much it costs, but I can tell you that the difference in my sound increased once I started using this external video compared to external microphone compared to the built-in computer microphone or even my headphones. There are also external microphones that you can purchase for your smartphones. And again, you know, hundreds and thousands of options. You can just do a simple search and choose one that fits best for your budget. If you're going to do video recordings on your computer and your camera isn't that great, you can also purchase and connect an external camera that also has a microphone attached. So this is killing two birds with one stone. And of course, there are several options, but a good recommendation would be anything from Logitech. And the one that I have attached to my computer is actually a gaming camera, and it is from a company called Razer. A tripod is also recommended since you can use it to hold your phone or camera in place while you position your art pieces. And again, there are hundreds of options. You just need to do a search and choose the option that works best with your budget. And lastly, video editing software. I'm making the assumption that since most of you are artists, that you have Macs, and if that is the case, then iMovie, which is great, will have already come preloaded on your computer and is a great choice. Some other free or low-cost options are Lightworks and Shotcut. And if you're looking for the best of the best, then you should explore Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro. So hopefully everything that I just shared in terms of additional equipment can point you guys in the correct direction in terms of figuring out what you need to have at your disposal to create great videos for your channel. Okay, so your video is done and you're happy with it. And of course, it's probably gonna take several tries before you're actually happy with it, especially since you guys are artists. Now we're ready to upload your video. So to upload your video, you will click create in the upper left side of the screen next to your brand's account picture. This opens a drop down where you can choose between uploading a video or going live. Once you upload your video, it's important to complete all of the information on the details screen. Now, doing so will help people in your target market to find your video. Make your title something that people are likely to search for. And I don't know if you guys noticed in the artist channel that I shared earlier, many of the videos were titled how to, and that was clearly done on purpose because the most searched term on YouTube is actually how to. So you want to avoid generic titles that may mean something to you, but will not really resonate or mean anything to your target audience. Adding a description with the right keywords can boost views as well as the length of time that your audience view your videos. Now, YouTube will pull 3 screenshots for your video for potential thumbnails. If you don't like any of them, you can upload your own graphic file, which for you guys, you should have no problem doing that at all. Next, you will select what playlist you want the video to be a part of. Be aware that YouTube has special rules for videos designed to have a kids audience. If your video is for kids, be sure that it is in compliance with YouTube's regulations. And if you know, all you would have to do is say, yes, this video is intended for children, and they will walk you through all the steps to make sure that you're compliant. Now you have the option to add more details to your video. Paid promotion lets viewers and YouTube know that your video is being promoted and you're going to pay to do so. Tags add descriptive keywords to help correct search mistakes. Tags can be useful if the content of your video is commonly misspelled. Otherwise, they play a minimal role in your video's discovery. So many times, you know, when people are searching for things, they misspell certain keywords or that sort of thing. If that is the case and you're aware of this, then you may want to add tags. Language and caption certification lets you specify the original video language and confirm that the video has closed captions. And of course, recording date and location lets you enter the date the video was recorded and the location where your video was filmed. Let's take some time to talk a little bit more about paid promotions. A lot of the questions that that I often get in regards to YouTube is, you know, how do we fast track, right? How do we fast track and actually monetize channels so that I can actually start making money? And on this slide, I have actually added the link to YouTube's Creator Academy. There's actually an entire course that you can take that will help you to prepare your channel to be monetized. However, if you're just setting up your channel, unfortunately, the bad news is that you will have to wait a while before you're even allowed to partake in the YouTube Partner Program, and you have to apply to the YouTube Partner Program, and then they give you permission to monetize your channel. But just really quickly, and I encourage you guys to go through the course to get in-depth information. To qualify, you need at least 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 valid public watch hours over a period of 12 months. Of course, well, we're all in the US, availability in a specific country, and you have to follow and adhere to all of YouTube's monetization policies, as well as set up a linked AdSense account. So I know many people are like, how do I make money? How do I make money? It will be at least 6 months to a year, depending on how quickly your channel grows before you're even allowed to apply to this program. And again, when you get the copy of the presentation, please go through the course so that you can plan, even if you can't do this right now, you can plan as to how you can gear yourself up to get there eventually. Okay, license and distribution allows you to choose if your video can be embedded on a different website or not. And you can also indicate if you'd like to send notifications to your subscriber for your new videos. Now, there are two options for the license and distribution. The first option is the standard YouTube license, which means that you grant the broadcasting rights to YouTube. This essentially means that your video can only be accessed from YouTube for watching purposes and cannot be reproduced or distributed in any other form without your consent. So as artists, I would say you will definitely be choosing this option. The second option is what's called Creative Commons. And if you select the Creative Commons license, then what this does is it allows others to use your work and to edit your work, recompile, change it, whatever, with the exception of a few listed things. And the things that they usually don't allow would be copyrights of the original work and a clear mentioning that the work has been derived from an original source. So they will have to credit you as the original creator of the video, but then they are allowed to take your original creation and make changes to it. I don't think anyone on this call today would be happy with that. So I would just recommend that you guys select the first option, which is standard YouTube license. Okay, shorts permissions let you control whether or not people are allowed to create shorts using the audio of your video. Category lets you select the category of your video, such as whether it's educational or it's a comedy. And comments and ratings let you choose whether viewers can leave comments on the video and whether other viewers can see how many likes and dislikes are on your video. After adding video details, you can add end screens and cards. End screens can be added to the last 5 to 20 seconds of a video, and you can use them to promote other videos, encourage viewers to subscribe, and much more. Quick note here, your video has to be at least 25 seconds long in order to be able to add an end screen, and that makes sense because you added to the last 5 to 20 seconds. You can also use cards to make your videos more interactive, and cards can have things like polls, links to other channels, and much more. Now, these options are completely optional. You don't have to add them at all, but just understanding what they can be used for is helpful just in case that you do want to add them to your videos. So the next question for you to ask yourself is, who do you want to access your video? And there are 3 visibility options. Public videos can be seen by anyone using YouTube. And there's also something called a YouTube Premiere that lets you and your viewers watch and experience a new video together. So this may be a great way when you first launch your channel, right? You could possibly do something like an e-blast or on your social media or, you know, wherever you exist already or you have a following already, and invite them to watch your YouTube Premiere with you. Next, there are unlisted videos and playlists, and these can be seen and shared with anyone that is sent a unique link by you, and they don't show up in search. Private videos and playlists can only be seen by you and select people that you choose. Next, it's time to set the date when you want to make your video public. So again, this would be all part of your planning process. Do you want to do a premiere? Like I said, it's highly recommended not to waste all of your content all at once and to kind of like schedule and spread the content out, especially when you're just building your channel. Once your video is published, it's time to spread the word. You can share your video on a variety of social sites, via email, on your website, and of course, much more. You have to be proactive about letting people know about your new channel and your videos. Okay, so it's not kind of like just throw it up there and hope for the best, especially in the beginning. And especially if your goal is getting to the point where you can do paid promotions, you will have to also promote the channel until people start finding it on their own. Okay, so another option you have to reach people with video is YouTube Live. With Live, you have the ability to stream to an unlimited number of users, regardless of whether or not they have a Google account. The great thing is that you can use a smartphone or computer webcam to create content for YouTube Live. You absolutely do not need any special equipment. YouTube Live, or the value of YouTube Live, is that it allows you to reach your audience in real time. And once you reach that 1,000 subscribers threshold, you can stream directly from your smartphone. Once you get really comfortable with streaming, you can also do some customization. For example, you can make your live stream unlisted, meaning only select people can join. So maybe this is something that you would choose to do, or maybe you're having sort of like a media preview of some new artwork or your album or something like this. And so you would only invite those select people to actually participate in the live. It wouldn't be public. Here are some ideas for live streams you may want to try, especially in the last 12 months. We didn't have opportunities for live gallery displays or concerts or this sort of thing. You can actually use live to kind of like step in and take the place of things like that you would be doing before. Expert interviews, Q&A or frequently asked questions, and of course, to introduce new collections or pieces to your audience. So this is how you have to prepare your channel to go live. Once your YouTube channel is set up, you need to enable YouTube Live at least 24 hours before you want to do your first live stream. So remember that, at least 24 hours, right? What will happen is that you'll be taken through the steps to verify your account and enable live streaming. And you would do this by going to studio.youtube.com. So remember, 24 hours before, you have to enable the functionality. After that, there are a variety of ways to go live. When you're signed into your YouTube account, you can click the Go Live icon in the upper right corner of your screen. Or you could also choose to click on the video camera icon there, right? So two ways that you can choose to activate the process. Next, you will need to fill out the title and privacy settings for the video. And when you click Next, Get Ready, your camera will turn on and it will take a screenshot of you to use as your YouTube Live thumbnail. Before you go live, make sure that you go through this quick checklist. Of course, test your setup, schedule the live stream, provide video descriptions, make sure the thumbnail that's chosen is one that you like, announce the live, and also, if you can, gather audience questions beforehand so that you can have a really warm, informed conversation. Now, while the camera is on, these are some things that you should also be considering. Feature the event on your channel, deliver opening and closing remarks, stay on track, stick to structure, and try your best to answer the audience questions, because that's why they're attending live, right? After you've completed your live stream, make sure to publish the live archive to your channel. So what happens is that YouTube will automatically create an archive of all of the recordings of the lives, which you then actually have to publish it to your channel so that viewers or subscribers of your channel can actually take a look back at what happened. And hopefully this will encourage them to actually attend the next session. Okay, so Priscilla, how are we doing for time?
We have 9 minutes.
9 minutes left. Okay, so the next section goes into promoting your business with video ads. And actually what I'm going to do is there's a video that's usually shown. I'm not going to show it, but you guys are actually going to get a copy of the presentation. And if you care to, then you can watch the video because I want the opportunity to answer a few questions before we run out of time. But pretty much the value of doing paid promotions on your channel on YouTube is that you are able to present your work directly in front of your target audience as defined by you. Also, the value of video is that you're able to showcase and explain your work or give little teasers for your music. And so by using video and promoting the video to your select target audience, you enjoy the benefits of being able to do so. In terms of the lengths of these ads, these are the recommended time frames of the videos that you can use for paid promotions: 6 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds, and 30 plus. I wouldn't go too far beyond 30 plus seconds because, as you know, attention spans, especially for ads, can be a little limited. Okay, and again, these are just examples of the ads in question that you can possibly run. Okay, recap and resources, and then we'll take some questions. Now that you've learned about using YouTube to grow your business, here are some clear next steps that you should take, hopefully after this presentation. Take the time to create your channel and make sure to fill in as much useful information as possible. Remember that YouTube has actually become a search engine. Create and upload videos to your channel. And as you start to build out your channel, keep it as organized as possible by using sections and playlists. And of course, explore additional resources. I have shared some in the chat. And when you get the copy of the presentation, you will have the last couple of slides. There's some additional resources, but I just wanted to highlight 2 of them. The Creator Academy is about all things YouTube. There's several courses you can take. There are recommendations about equipment. So I would highly recommend, in addition to attending this session, that you also go through YouTube's Creator Academy and look for guidance and lots of great examples of how you can use the platform. And the second resource that I want to point out is that if you really don't feel comfortable creating your own videos, then you can refer to YouTube's trusted creative partners. These are people that have been vetted by YouTube as credible video producers, and you can also choose to work with them to help you in video production. Now, many times, if all it is that you need editing, they can help you with your editing process, or they can create the videos from scratch for you. Okay. And again, once you guys get the copy of the presentation, you can see the next couple of resources that you have at your access. Okay, so Priscilla, let us see if we can have some questions. So I see here it says, is there a way to curate how the videos... Okay, so that was a question that was asked, I guess, before I went through the explanation of creating sections and playlists. And so the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. You can create specific sections on the YouTube channel where you kind of like group specific pieces of your work together. And even further, you can create playlists within those sections to further categorize your videos. All right. Any more questions? Is that the only question? That's a first. Hopefully it's because everything that everyone wanted to know was covered in the presentation. Okay, so This is your last chance, you guys, to ask anything that you want to know. And if not, then Priscilla, I will turn the stage back over to you to wrap up.
Yeah, thank you, Katia. That was a really informative workshop on strategies around creating content and setting up your YouTube channel. So this is the end of our workshop. We'd love to hear what you think. So I'll drop the link again in the chat. And I will also follow up with everyone tomorrow to provide a copy of the presentation as well as the additional resources to dive deeper into the strategies. Right?
Absolutely. Okay, you guys have been great. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.